I'm sitting waiting for it to come on there.
They finished off the good game running really well.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome back to Greater Zion Stadium, the Johnson Pediatric post-game show. Utah Tech coming up on the short end to wrap up homecoming week by the final of 34-30 against Utah Tech and against Eastern
Kentucky. So, Rod Zundel, Devin Osborne back here, and again, Utah Tech got the ball back with a couple of minutes left and drove all the way down inside the 20, had a chance, but just a couple of things that we haven't seen all year long. More drop passes from the receivers, and you as a receiver know that you get in a groove, and I don't think we've seen a drop pass on a catchable ball all year long until tonight. We saw a number of them.
Yeah, talk about execution, especially down the stretch. You need those big-time plays, especially in those situations where we're trying to get down the field and make those plays. Utah Tech had almost 3 or 4 crucial drops that could have changed the outcome of the game, especially on that last fourth down play by Bo Sparks, and those are plays that you have to make.
Waiting for head coach Paul Peterson to come up and join us, but let's take a gander at some of the numbers here tonight. Let's start with Kobe Tracy, after 397 yards, a career high, 26 of 49, 247 tonight, 3 touchdowns. That's his third straight game with 3 touchdowns. He wasn't sacked one time tonight, so good job by the offensive line. On the other side, Parker McKinney, the preseason offensive player of the year nominee, 22 of 34, 322, 3 touchdowns. He was sacked twice and 1 interception on the first play of the game. And I think that right there set the tone. First play from scrimmage, interception by Marley inside the 30-yard line, and they didn't come away with any points. I think that really set the tone.
Yeah, and a good job by these defenses because, coming to this game, they're averaging almost 500 yards giving up a game. And especially on the EKU side, they really established that D-line presence against Utah Tech. And their secondary, they gave us some big plays down the stretch here and there, but their secondary, like Mike Smith, even Brown and those guys, and even Bembry, they really locked up the Utah Tech receivers. So, that was really a showcase game for them, especially advancing into this UAC play.
So Utah Tech drops to 1-2 in conference play, 2-6 overall. And Eastern Kentucky, they're right there. They won the ASUN conference last year, and then when the WAC and ASUN merged, they got a chance to win it. Now they're tied. Tarleton upset Central Arkansas, so you got a couple guys tied, a couple teams tied at 3-0, and Eastern Kentucky is one of them. So they've got a chance to win their second straight title, even though it's not the ASUN title.
Yeah, and Coach Rose is super fired up after this game, especially going into more conference games coming up next week, and especially them going back home. So, this is a lot of good momentum for EKU.
Rushing yards, 174 yards for Eastern Kentucky, and Utah Tech with 154. So that's respectable. That you like that. Joshua Carter, though, man, he is a tough runner for the Colonels. 20 carries, 125 yards.
And he made plays not just on the ground, but also in the receiving game. 3 catches for 22 yards. But 20 carries, 125 yards, averaging 6 yards a carry. You're happy all day as offensive coordinator, especially the offensive line too.
Ronnie Walker averaged 7.5 yards a carry. Chris Street averaged 7.4 yards a carry, but they only got 19 carries between them. And Josh Carter had 20 carries, one more than both of those guys, and they're averaging 7.4 and 7.5 yards a carry. I think I'd run those guys a little bit more.
Yeah, Kobe Tracy threw the ball 49 times, and that's pretty astounding stat right there. So, Utah Tech needs to establish that run game like they do, especially when it gets Stephen F. Austin, when those guys had almost 15, almost 20 carries a game, Ronnie and Chris.
I think you're pushing for a triple option now with these 2 guys, and also Nigel Osborne with these 3 guys. That triple option with those 3 guys in the backfield?
Well, they're great running backs. I would not deny it, but me pushing for a triple option, I'm a White House too.
Yeah, but, they had Walker had 76 yards, Street 67. Let's see, no touchdowns between them. All the touchdowns were through the air. But this was a good game. This was back and forth. Some misplays execution-wise, drop balls. And let's see, penalties. We didn't call very many penalties tonight. 6 for 65, only 2 penalties on Utah Tech after going to double digits in penalties last week. So they cut that down.
The discipline of Utah Tech this week was really good. The only really penalty they really had was the false start by Bio, and then the hands to the face by Brandon.
That's it.
And those are all kind of momentum plays, things like that. So that's stuff that Coach Peterson can live with.
Yeah. And third down conversions. Last week they were 7 for 12. Utah Tech was. Tonight 8 of 17. So they're getting the opportunities and they're kind of converting. So last week, if third down conversions, you get over 100. You're on 150 yards rushing, 400 yards passing. Didn't get the win last week. Here, 8 of 17, third down conversion, 154 yards on the ground, 247 passing. Why didn't you win, Professor?
Execution. Those plays, and especially those mental errors on both sides of the football. I mean, you can't have drops and you can't have busted coverages. I mean, the big play down there to Mo Edwards that I think it was a 62-yard or 69-yard house call.
Yeah.
It's little things like that can't happen, regardless of the situation or regardless who's back there. And, this defense played really good against this EKU offense, but we got to see more opportunities, less arm tackles, more press coverage from the corners making big plays down the field.
All right, we got Coach Peterson here, and we'll pop him in. And Coach, just have a seat right here. Have a seat right here.
I could fit a little
Yeah.
small spot.
All right, so you hold that right there.
Okay.
Let's get you right there. And
the
that's the finals. All right, Coach, just your initial thoughts after this hard-fought game.
Yeah, our guys fought hard.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Yeah, what else you need,
but
bud?
no, this was a good football game. I mean, tonight though we saw more drop passes than we have all year.
Yeah, we did. What do you want me to say? Yeah, we did.
Well, I mean,
this is a really that's a really good football team, man. I mean, they were in the playoffs last year, and so I told my team, like, it came down to 2 weeks in a row, the last play of the game. I'm really proud of the way our guys fought. I mean, I wanted to, that was my message before the game. I want to see you fight every snap, the whole entire game. They did that, and I want to see them give it all they had the whole time, and they did that, and it just didn't turn out our way. We're gonna throw it to Bull every time. I mean, I'm not worried about that kid. He had a couple drops today, and I thought Kobe again played at a really high level. What a horrible way to start the second half. That was unfortunate. We go 2-3 and outs, and they score twice. But I thought our defense did some good things, but we still got to stop the run. Just looking at the stats here, what is running? That quarterback's really efficient.
Yeah.
Where are those stats? He threw.
They had 174 yards rushing, 322 passing.
Yeah, they were pretty efficient today.
But their guys didn't go down after the first or second hit. They were tough.
Big strong backs. Yeah, we got to get in the weight room and do some more curls and push-ups.
But your guys too. I mean, you got to give Street and Walker Jr. They averaged 7.5 and 7.4 yards a carry.
Yeah. I mean, there's some positives all over the place. We didn't turn the ball over. We went for it a couple times again on fourth down. Weren't able to convert, which is unfortunate. We got to be better down there. That first turnover was huge. The interception by Marley, we got to get points out of that. Would help getting a touchdown there. But right before half, we take advantage of that muff punt, and we're up 16-14 in the halftime. In a good position. We're getting the ball out, and then like I said, we didn't start off that second half very good. But again, I mean, it's like we're making some juice out of these oranges, and we're squeezing every last drop out of our guys, and they've been willing and fighting. So I'm really proud of them. Again, it's just gonna the what do you call that, man? The tipping point. The tipping point's coming, and we'll just keep it up because the process works. What we're doing works. We just one play away, and we got to find a way to figure that out.
You talk about these guys and the way they fight. Last week, double digits in penalties. Tonight, only 2 penalties.
Yeah, we played good football. It was a good game. Yeah, I'm proud of him. I didn't realize we only had 2 penalties. I saw the white hat was giving him a hard time because old Walt over there was getting in his grill. He wanted some calls over there, but yeah, our guys played good, clean football.
All right, so what do you tell your guys and do? Just kind of the same old thing this week in practice? Anything you don't want to do anything drastic, or is there changes you want to make?
No, what kind of changes are you gonna make?
I don't know.
One more snap away. We do ball drills every day. I think we dropped a couple balls. We do tackling drills every day. We're going to continue to do that. The process works, and we're getting better, and we're playing better ball than we did in the first four games of the season, and we'll get there.
And just to speak on the process, I mean, I've played for you for 4 seasons, and I've seen, you from day one to now. And I can really honestly say that I've seen the improvement on both sides of the football, especially in that weight room, because I know that was a big challenge for us a couple of years ago. But can you really speak on the presence of the O-line and D-line, how they really battled tonight, and how that was a big kind of momentum change for both sides, especially with Ronnie Walker running the football and then Cyrus Webster and those guys kind of making it havoc, especially Max Christian on that big sack.
Yeah, how many sacks we had? I think we had 3 sacks, did we? Trying to look at these stats as we're talking here. But our guys did we have them eat first in anything they were doing, right? They lead the way. They made some big plays. We needed a little bit more pressure on the QB that second half. He looked like he had a little bit more time than they did in the first half. And then our offensive line just keeps getting better and better too. But yeah, I mean that's where it all builds. It's not a today thing. This was all year long, putting us in position to be in this game. And like I said, playing a really good football team.
Final note, the battle between the preseason Offensive Player of the Year nominee and the Defensive Player of the Year nominee, Cyrus Webster. Tonight he got a sack and tied for the career lead at Utah Tech in sacks. So, he's leading the way by his example and his play on the field. You got to be happy with the way he's leading this, guys.
Yeah, he's fun, man. They missed a call at that first play of the second half. I think they almost tackled him. He just puts a lot of pressure on that QB, and he's relentless with his effort. I'm proud of him. He's been playing well. Proud of Kobe. Kobe played well too. Took care of the ball again, and that's given us a chance. So.
All right, Coach. Next week, Abilene Christian back on the road for 2 more before wrapping it up here for your final home game at the end of the season.
Yeah, we'll got to be some road warriors, and you know what? I'm begging that the game's just like this one comes down to the last play because we're gonna win it. Our guys are gonna keep fighting and working, man. It's fun.
Right.
Fun to be a part of it.
All right, Coach Paul Peterson. That'll put a wrap on our Johnson Pediatric post-game show. Devin, let's get the final word from you. We got it from the coach. Let's get the final word from the expert receiver here.
I mean, Utah Tech, they battled all the way, but, you got to finish those games. You got to finish these drives and those type of plays and things like that. Coach Peterson spoke to, they do the same thing in practice, but, practice, you got to translate that to the game. So, we expect Bo Sparks to make those plays. We expect Cyrus Webster to get home, especially on these quarterbacks. So, we talk about it, but now, got to be about it. So actions speak louder than words.
Coach Peterson. He looked a little frustrated just in his eyes and his demeanor that they were so close the last 2 weeks and didn't get it done, and he knows that they could have and they should have, and he's tired of that. I think that, could you see that and sense that with him a little bit right there?
Big time. Coach Peterson, he's the ultimate competitor. I mean, I remember in practice, even when he was the offensive coordinator for us, he's the ultimate competitor, and he wants to win. He doesn't like coming in here talking about losing games and things like that.
Well, the way they do it, where they play good football and come up short.
Well, he used to always tell you got to tighten up a bit. You always got to tighten up these last drives, like when the plays actually matter. I mean, I should say when they actually matter, but when the plays matter, you got to make that play. So I understand because of this competitive nature, and he's gonna fight until the end. And he's gonna make sure these guys do too.
Remember what he said, everybody in this room. Okay, remember what he said. I hope that the next time the game comes down just like this one, where we got a chance to win it, because we'll win it.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to bring that soundbite and that interview back when that happens.
I love it.
Because I want to see it happen.
I love it.
I want to see it. You guys went through this last year, winning 3 of your Final 4. You guys were so close but couldn't get over the hump. Mm-hmm. You got over the hump at Stephen F. Austin, and you won 3 of your Final 4 to set up some good momentum coming into this year.
Remember what state we started that kind of win, that road to winning? Texas. And it was a purple team.
That's right. The Trailblazers are going up against another purple team, Abilene Christian, next week. Kickoff at 1 o'clock Utah time. Pre-game right here on Trailblazer Sports Vision and the Fan Radio Sports Network. Noon. So noon, pre-game, Trailblazer kickoff show. 1 o'clock kickoff, Abilene, Texas. And don't forget the Paul Peterson Coaches Show Tuesday night, 6 o'clock right here on Trailblazer Sports Vision and the Fan Sports Radio Network. Devin, my man, it's been a pleasure.
Always.
Learning a lot from you on culture and on all the hip and drip and all that kind of stuff.
Hey,
I still think you're a fine dressed man compared to the players that are on the plane on the road trips, man. You taught them well.
Hey, we're going to call Rod now Zippy the dripster.
Yeah, right. Like I said, I'm just a redneck trying to dress myself. That's all. All right, that's a wrap for tonight. Thank you. Good job. It was a fun game to watch. I mean,
Good
you know,
time.
both teams played pretty well, and they played hard,
Yes,
and
sir.
that's what you want to see. All right, that will do it. Thanks to everybody involved. From St. George, Utah here at Greater Zion Stadium. Once again, the final. Utah Tech comes up 4 points short, 34-30.
Against Eastern Kentucky. Homecoming week is over. We get ready for Abilene in Abilene, Texas, Abilene Christian next week. That'll do it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. For all of us here in St. George, Utah, good night, everybody.